Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 15. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. We are now at week 15 of 2024. It means we now moved into April. Things are looking great. Our first Pamm account has now been running for about 45 days. We have other news coming out. We have some new all-time highs also. And the first thing we're actually going to talk about in this particular news report this time around is the new Pamm launch, because get ready, things are looking up. And we're going to add new EA. So this is a completely new Pamm account that we're going to launch also, because obviously you need to diversify as you go along. At the moment, it's the Wave Liberator. Later in the program, I'm going to tell you exactly what EA we now have pointed out as number 2, and there's even more to come in the future. We have a whole setup, and a bit of a plan for 2024, how we're going to do this. So obviously, as we develop all the different processes and procedures, we're going to keep you updated on the news report here all the way through. We're also going to have a bit of a talk about our record profits. And yes, we actually had a record profit last week on our Pamm account. This week too, it's even bigger, and we're going to also have a closer look at this. But first of all, we need to start where we normally start. We start with yield notes, and for at least this time around here, we also have a bit of news from yield notes, not exactly to the entire community, but Steve has spoken to one of the German counterparts that most probably has also invested in yield notes at some point. But we don't really know much about him in here. All we can see, there's about a 40-45 minute interview. And Steve is telling, as you can see here, a lot of going on behind the carpet. But again, it doesn't really reflect exactly how much is going on. The exact deadlines, everything is, as usual, a bit wishy-washy here, a bit fussy. So obviously, we hope that something comes out also with some of the English-speaking ones later on. I do speak a bit of German, and there's also some translations below. They're not always the best ones. But anyway, it's good to see that Steve is still around, and obviously he's also giving some interviews. He's a bit of a shy guy sometimes. We have tried to reach out to him before, but have never managed to get an interview with him, apart from a face-to-face when we were in Malta. However, good news, at least he's still out there somewhere. But again, deadlines and everything else, yes, we are following the plan, he says, from what we have on the white paper. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it for now. We're going to have a closer look at the SAP coin, and the SAP coin has actually been in a positive development in the last week. As you'll see, where we have the red ring down here is where we left it last time. So we go all the way down to a bunch of zeros and 7, and since then things have been looking up quite a bit in a percentage wise, basically from this to here. So quite a few percentage, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. Things are going sideways, as you can see. We don't really have a good positive trend overall for the SAP coin. What we do have, however, is that we have the staking in here. Staking also for this particular week. We got in on the 9th of April, another 280 SAP. So now you can see that the last couple of revenues here for February, March, and April are now lining up. Now we're only halfway, or not even halfway through April yet when this particular video comes out. So there's a good chance we're going to see something else, but it is quite sporadic. As you can see, 28th of March, 4th of April, then 9th of April. But the good part is that we actually made 1.3% of the 280 SAP we got in here. It's certainly better than just having it sit in the wallet. At least here something is coming out, and if things are looking good, looking up, then for sure we'll have a few more SAPs than when yield notes crashed about 1.5 years ago. If we also have a closer look at the PNY, this time around we actually have 2 times in this particular week, on the 9th of April and on the 12th of April. You can also see we are now on par with March. Hopefully we'll also get on par with February, not too long. So things are definitely looking better and are looking up. And all we have to do here is enjoy our 1.4% of the 266 PNY that we got in for this particular month. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's also a bit of a mixed bag in here. Last week we left it at 67,800. Since then, things developed in the nice positive direction all the way up to 27,000, almost 800 in here. And since then, it's been sliding down, again trading a bit of sideways around the 71,000 mark. And then the last 24 hours, as we are shooting this particular video here, we had a good massive drop all the way down to 65,000. And then now slightly recovering again, and as we are shooting the video, it's trading at 67,300 mark at the moment, so we'll see where it's gonna go for the next week. Last week we didn't have much news on the Trillant part, and it's pretty much the same this time around. There is one section in here, important messages about official communication, that came out by email, and again in here the entire team is just telling us here that it's quite imperative here that correct information has to come out in order to avoid what here they call the telephone game effect, where things are changing along the way. But at the end of the day here, we have the newsletter, so the emails, you have the back office you can go to in order to claim the right information, and then from there on also the official Telegram channels that are both in German and English. And you can also see the links below here. So if you are interested in more information than we can provide you, then there would be the place to go. But then again, there's not really much information coming out at the moment. All we can do is having a look at the Trillant coin and see how that has developed over the past week. Also here, that has been pretty much what we call sideways movements at the moment. We left it at 0.0001261. So again here at the red circle. Since then, things have been trading sideways all the way through, apart from a little pump up here, and then slowly but surely sliding back down again. And as we are shooting the video also here, the price is at 0.0001274. So it is better than the last couple of weeks where things were sliding all the way through. Here we are still up from past week, even though it's not very much. Some other good positive news is actually our money tree. Money tree has been through a bit of a circle in the last couple of months. This week around, all of a sudden, out of the blue, we're having some big profits coming in, some real good profits. Low risk account, $236 or 4.7%. Medium risk, which is definitely the one that we go with when we are trading real life money accounts, $261 or 5.2%. And then we have the high risk account with $264 or 7.4%. Obviously also very good, but we also explained you the high risk one. Recently here we had a margin call, not a complete margin call, but certainly we lost a couple of thousand in here. So the one we're gonna focus on this week around is the medium risk account. And if we have a closer look at what that looks like, back then we had the lot sizing set too high. And as we just readjusted everything, you can see that has done extremely well all the way through. The monthly returns, the weekly returns are obviously a bit low because we had a lower starting point after the initial beginning. But now the history is 352 days, and you can see the individual weeks over here. We have been going for quite a long time. There's a few minuses in here, and that normally happens when the accounts or when the trades have been open for a long time. It's called swap. Basically, you are borrowing money because you are using leverage in here, and you have to pay a certain rate for that. But as you can see, the last couple of weeks we had $35 here, we had $30, $31, and all of a sudden we get $261, which is obviously great news. And that looks very nice on the graph. Also, we are less than $100 away from the all-time high that we had before all the crashes in here. So that actually shows that things can recover. All we have to do is find the right balance. The right balance, well, the right balance, we found it a long time ago with the profit retriever for week 15 here. We have the top 5 EAs, where the Euro USD is up by $304 or 3.0%. Very closely followed by the Great British Pounds Oz with $304, also 3.0%. And then shortly after, Great British Pounds USD $221 or 2.2%. And then Aussie USD $170 or 1.7%. And then last but not least, Great British Pounds, number 2 signal in here, $166 or 1.7%. Overall, if you would have traded those top 5 in the past week, you would have made $1,165 or 2.3%. And that is definitely good enough in our books. Things are looking a bit up compared to where we were in the last couple of weeks. So let's go and have a look at that. First of all, this is the entire portfolio that we have. You can see from the beginning, we started off only with a few accounts. So this actually counts from 0 and only counts the profit in here. As you can see, it looks very, very nice. It has flattened out in the last couple of weeks. And if we go over here, you can see why. So this goes all the way back to 2023 in October and November. And here we had in December, very high one, 5,000. Again here in January, 4,000. Then it slows down, another 4,000 here in end of January. And then you can see we had a couple of sort of dull ones in March, a really bad one here for Easter, 444. There was quite a few of the accounts also in drawdown. They have now come out of it again, and last week they made 1,079. This week we made 1,589. So definitely things are moving in the right direction, and you can obviously also find more on our homepage in here regarding the portfolio opportunities, the profit retriever itself. If you want to trade it, you simply click this particular link here. But all of the ones that we have in this news report, also all the EAs, all the trading parts, you can go to the copy link trading, and that also goes for the money tree in here we showed you before. It goes for the profit retriever, and it also goes for the trade explorer that we are coming to next. So the Trade Explorer is normally very good for good cashing in, but this time around it has been quite dull. It has been quite low. As you see, 22 pair only made $102 or 1.0%. And the 10 pair one, which is the more aggressive one, yes, I know that the developers say it's less aggressive, but we have seen the drawdowns. It certainly talks a whole different picture for us at least. But the 10 pair one, $188 or 1.9%. And that is obviously not where we want the Trade Explorer to be. And if we go and have a look at the graph in here, we can see the weekly profits 1.6, monthly 7.0. But again, this is also on the copy link service with a history of 333 days. The 22 pair, as you see here, has gone quite well all the way up. But don't forget that the monthly returns and everything else, we cannot change the lot size because it's part of the copy link service. You can see the number down here. That is link 145C. If you want to actually join this one, that is the way to do it. And then you will see the individual profits we get every single week. Last week it was 125, then it was 102. Some of the higher ones was all the way back in December, 639 here. And only for the year we are looking at 234. So the 22 pair is always a bit on the lower side, where we go to the 10 pair one. Again, monthly returns, it is a bit higher. Also here, the lot size is actually closed off. So that means also we are not increasing that all the time. This is link 146C if you're interested. And we have a look. You can see here in January, the highest we ever had with this EA was 1,279. And that was just in 1 week. Since then, normally we are expecting 200-300 here, and again 375, 382 here, and then it dropped in the last couple of weeks, and again now it's all the way down to 188. So obviously not optimum, but as you can see, it's simply cashing in every single week, and that's what counts at the end of the day. Another one that certainly counts and also cashes in is the Wave Liberator that we've been trading for a very long time now. And again, the top 5 EAs for this particular week, where we have set this up on $10,000 accounts, but the results and the percentage we put in is that you can actually do it on $1,000, and that's what these numbers reflect. Swiss francs Japanese, $79 or 7.9% is the top one in here. The US Japanese, $61 or 6.1%. And then New Zealand Japanese, so you can see the Japanese has certainly been on the move currency here this week, $55 or 5.5%. Aussie USD, $49 or 4.9%. And then the last of the top 5 is New Zealand USD with $40 or 4% for the week. Overall, If you would have taken our coupling service and also set it up for these particular 5 ones in here, you would have made $285, 5.7%. And that is pretty good because the Wave Liberator just keeps on cashing in, and you can actually see that. Also here we have now a balance of not 160,000, it's actually gone up to 200. So that means we have 20 EAs with $10,000 each. Anything above that is actually profit. So 14,000 is the profit. Now in here you can see close profit, 14,114. The equity is only 210, which means that we have a floating profit loss of minus 3,436 at the moment. And that has been like that here now for a couple of weeks, but it's nothing major at all. In here is very, very easy to control. Total return over all these, when you trade them together, you get a very nice, very smooth line here, 10.5%, and monthly returns 1.5, weekly returns 0.3, and again, history 237 days. Again, this can actually trade the FTMO. If you just trade them like you have a $10,000 account, you can set this up. But if you want to be a bit more aggressive, similar to how we actually use the Wave Liberator now on the Pamm account itself, you can actually times this by 10. So that means the monthly return will go up to about 15%, the weekly returns to go up to 3. And then you can do further adjustments on the lot sizing here also. You can see in all the individual currency pairs here. And on our website, you will now also have access to the FX Blue and all the individual links that we are trading. So you can see which ones are doing well, which ones are doing not so well at the end of the day, which if you want to add all of them in, similar to what we do, or you simply just want to handpick a few of them because you might not have enough money in the beginning, then you simply just add more EAs as your account size is growing, and then later on you can increase lot sizing too. If we have a look at the numbers once more, you have seen them up here, but then we have the weekly results just to see where we are. At the bottom here we have the last week's results, 659 for the entire EA, so we can go quite far back, all the way back to this was mid-January, 785, so this was actually a good month. You can also see last week was good with 506, so the EA is cashing in, it is consistent, and even the slowest one we have is about 317. Again, Easter did a big punch, and we have also one here in February, 240, 260 up here, so once in a while. That is the low part of everything, so it's, and if you call that a low part, then definitely you're in a very good position. Now, I promised you also we had a bit of news, and I told you that in the beginning. We now also have the RSI Liberator for week 15. Now, these are also set up in the same way with the top 5 EAs as you have for the Wave Liberator one. They are very, very similar, and you will also see that in the percentage. The Aussie USD for the week did $75 or 7.5%, so wow, well done. New Zealand USD, $39 or 3.9%, and then US Japanese, $35 or 3.5%. Great British Pounds USD, $31 or 3.1%, and then another one right after here, your Great British Pounds, $31 or 3.1%. These ones here you don't have on the coupling service yet. It is running in the background. It has been now also for some time. And overall, if you would have traded those anyway, $212 would have been yours, or 4.2% for the week. Definitely something to look forward to also as we are releasing this. And you can find more on our website. Obviously in here, portfolio of opportunities, you have our news report you are sitting and watching right now. And then you have the Wave Liberator you've been used to for quite a long time. The RSI Liberator is very, very similar setup. It's the same technology and trading that is actually going on. It's just the entry points for the Wave and the RSI that are a bit different. Apart from that, pretty much everything is as it should be, and that's exactly also where the RSI Liberator comes in, because we are so familiar already with the Wave Liberator. It has been very easy to make some very good and stable settings, as you can see, with plenty of profits. That we're also going to take this now over to our Pamm account. So this will actually be the second Pamm account we're going to launch here shortly, as I mentioned to you. And if you click on this particular black bull, because this is actually New Zealand trading account that is going to be set up with this, we end up over here where you can go in and you can start everything up. One of the things we also did, just for you to have a closer look, because we get many times here that people say, you're always using demo accounts, what about live accounts? Well, we did set one up back in December 2023, and if you click this real life FX Blue trading account in here, you will actually see all the individual EAs has been set on a $10,000 account. Also this one here, we have actually managed to set more EAs on, and we are also able to change the lot sizing itself compared to the coupling service. And we have a lot of emails, how can we do that? And can we link up to this one? No, you cannot, because we are changing it based on the balance in here, which is at 18,951. Not bad when we started off in mid-December with only 10. Equity is a bit low than that, 17,352. So this all happened on Friday, where we got a bit of a kick, and we can see many other traders did the same that are also trading these particular EAs. So we're at minus 1,600 at the moment, so nothing to worry about there either. Very, very safe. Total return we have done with this account, 74%. Monthly returns is quite high, 16.2. And weekly returns, 3.6. Look at the trade wins, 70%. And we have 132 days of history, so 4 months in here. And again, we are using the same EAs. We are using the same setup with the currencies. And all we do is every single time that we have more money in the account, we are adding EAs, we are increasing lot sizes. And that's why you see this particular curve is starting to have a steeper and steeper climb compared to the ones that we have in the coupling service. We are not allowed to do that. Now, if we have a look at the numbers in here, they become quite interesting. Again, the history we have. If we first look at the weekly results, you can see it's cashing in quite nicely. Started off with 400, 300, 257. That was not good in January. And end of January, 300. That was better. February here, 589. That was one of the best ones until we got here to March. Then things started to happen, 673, 600. Then we had Easter again, which certainly didn't help many of us traders. And then look what happened here, end of March, beginning of April, 1,083. And now we have a new 1,484. And this is just on a weekly profits. You can see the same nice development. Also here on the monthly scale, when we started off in mid-December, this is our net profit. January became also pretty good with 1,300. February ended up 1,500. And then again, March was really nice with 2,330, but look at where we are here in April. And again, we at the time we are shooting this one here, we're not even halfway through April yet, and we have already passed the last month results. We are up by $2,568 and continue to climb. So maybe with a bit of luck, we're gonna hit somewhere around the $3,500–4,000 mark. That would obviously be very, very nice. So this is actually how our Pamm account is operating, similar to this, and that's why we have kept it on our website. Now also our Pamm account, that has also developed over time. Things are going quite well. It's only recently here that we sent out a post saying we actually doing more than 200,000 under management, and right now it has also surpassed 235. So things are going quickly. We are adjusting. We have a specialized system with the 20 EAs we have. We have a bit of a block system in here where we are able to very quickly scale up or scale down so that we can try and get the most out of the investors' money to make sure that things are coming in. So if you are interested in this particular one, you don't really have to trade. You don't have to be a member of the Expert Forex coupling service or anything else like that. You are free to go and set up an account with Black Bull. But on the other hand, you might as well do everything just to diversify your investment portfolio. But again, it's entirely up to you. This is not investment advice at the end of the day. All we are showing you is how we are doing, and then it's up to you if you want to join or not. Now you can see the balance for the high-tech investment. Wave Liberator in here is 238. Equity is a bit lower, 217,000 here also on Friday, as I mentioned with some of the other ones. Our floating profit rose sharply, and it's at minus 20,000, and maybe somebody will get a bit of a hiccup on this and go, wow, that's a huge drawdown. But then again, we are also having huge lot sizes because this is big accounts, so we are actually running lot sizes of somewhere around 0.5 all the way up to 1.8. So that is the size when you're having those type of accounts in here. And if you have a look and just calculate the drawdown, we are at 8.5, which is actually the highest we ever seen it. Normally it has been hovering somewhere around the 3 to 6% mark. Real account, as you can see here, total returns, don't put too much into it, it's very young. 5.2, monthly returns 10.3, that is currently going up, and you'll see a bit more about that. We expect to be closer to 12 to 15%. Weekly return 2.4, here we also expect about 3%. And then we're looking at our trade wins, which is a bit lower than the other accounts for some reason, 67.3. But again, it all depends on when you are starting. 16, 17 trades a day, history 45 days. And you can see how the money has come in. So that is the balance section is the blue one, and then the equity is the red one. So when we have some huge jumps in here, it's basically new investors adding money into it. If we have a look at in a different way, we can see the individual days. So it started off with a couple of hundreds. So obviously we started with a $10,000 account, so we couldn't trade that big. And then as money is coming in, you can see the trades is getting bigger and bigger, apart from a lazy day here, which looks to be a Monday. And then also recent times here, now in April, things are looking up, 1,600 in a day. The highest we had so far is 2,246. So that was last week. And then we had a couple of lower days with 847, 874. And then the last good week here, the last 3 days in this week was 2019, 1,479. And then Friday looked to be a very good one. But again, because of some of the markets moved, we only ended up with the $1,213 in here. If we have a look on a different scale, so on a weekly basis, you can see the first week we only made 523, then 1,739, comes up to 4,085. Then Easter definitely put a damper on everything with 1,690. And now last week, 6,094. And this week is even better, 6,434. Again, increasing all the time as also the balance goes up. We are adding EAs and increasing lot sizes. For the months, obviously month of March, we have in here, that was 8,000. Again, a lot lower, obviously also with the money. And now already here, we are not even halfway through April, and we're up by 12,500. So we are looking good. We are on basically the road to success of maybe around 25,000, could also be 30. It all depends on the Forex market. It decides at the end of the day. Now, if you want to join in here, you can click the start button on our website. If you go on to the Black Bull account, also the Pamm account in here, you will see further down the line here that you can start, and you will also see some of the details on our website for the Pamm account, so you can go and have a look and see if this is anything for you. So the choice is obviously yours, and you have to assess the risk yourself. Now, last week I also mentioned we had a special invitation. We are still working on a solution for our US and Canadian investors that are looking into our channel, and we've gotten quite a few emails back already, but I'm going to put this out anyway. Special invitation again for them if they would be interested in trading with us in the future. We believe we have found a solution for this. Then all you have to do is email me at the moment at info@hightechinvestments.com. And then we'll pick up your contact details. Once we are ready, either me or my partner will then send you a short email back saying, okay, this is what you need to do now, and we'll try and get you in as quickly as possible. Now, Alex from Expert Forex has also made a couple of videos this week. This one here is quite interesting, critical currency selection strategy. Again, for the Liberty versions, and the Liberty versions is actually the Wave Liberator and the RSI, like we talked about here. And also the latest one, the hedged robot. And this one, again, describes a bit on the individual currencies, how volatile they are, how trendy they are. and that is actually quite good for even manual traders. We are using a different set because we are doing setups for individual EAs, not in bunch, but it's certainly good still to understand exactly how this operates and see how Alex breaks this down. Very, very interesting video, so please go and have a look at that. The link will be in the description below. And the second one here is the best Forex robot in the world, and this is the competition that Alex had running for now quite a few months. And you also need to have a look at that to see which particular EA was actually the best one. And guess what? Yes, it's an expert Forex EA. And that's what we had for you in this week's news report. Again, you can see there's plenty of investment opportunities. There's plenty of clarity. We are very open of what we are doing in here. We hope it pays off at the end of the day, because we know a lot of people out there has lost money over time on various projects. That is why we are trying to provide you as much information and details of everything we are doing, and of course documenting it. So I hope you enjoy this, and please share this also with all the other investors if you know any of those, and they can have a look and see if this is something for them. This is something interesting that might be for the future. So until then, and my next video, see you around. Bye bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.